Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Voices from the Castle, the official podcast of Tyler County Schools, with your host, Shane Highley, Superintendent of Tyler County Schools. And I'm glad that everyone's here to join us today. This series is all about opening the doors of our schools to you, the families, the community, the people of Tyler County, so you can directly hear about the issues and opportunities and progress shaping education in our schools. Part 1. Why does the budget matter? Every year, our budget is the blueprint that makes teaching and learning possible. It covers salaries, transportations, meals, technology, extracurricular activities, and much, much more. More importantly, it represents the values of our community, how we prioritize students, success, and well-being throughout our county. Part 2. How do we build our budget in Tyler County Schools? Well, this is the process. We first do a needs assessment. What do we need in our schools? What do we need for our students? What makes learning possible? Then we look at the revenue projections. We estimate what state aid we will get, which in Tyler County, we do not get any state aid, the federal funding that we will receive through our title programs, and local taxes. The board will then preview the budget and for the upcoming year. And after that, we will have public input. The community will have the opportunity to weigh in at our public board meetings and also budget work sessions that we have. And then after that, the board will adopt and make it official the budget for the following year. This process ensures your voice is part of the conversation. Part 3, the role of the school levy. Levies give our community the chance to go above and beyond state funding. Well, here in Tyler County, we do not receive any state funding because of our tax base. They support small class sizes, extracurricular activities, technology upgrades, arts, music, and the safety and well-being of our schools. It also provides upgrades to our facilities and other things that may be needed to go above and beyond for the students of Tyler County. Now, let's take a look at what is in our levy call in Tyler County. So each levy, there are specific things that are stated that you must do every year based on what is in the levy call. So I'm going to go over those things with you in short during this podcast. First things first, it provides instructional materials at an amount of $1.7 million. That's to upgrade computer software, instructional materials, supplies, and other things for our students. Another thing that our levy call states is that we give $39,000 a year to the local public libraries that they utilize for student materials, books, and other upkeep. We also have $1.1 million in our levy that is just set aside for technology. That's infrastructure repairs, that's hardware, training and tech support for our tech personnel. So there's a big chunk of money that's set aside in our levy call for technology in our classrooms. We also set aside about $1.9 million in our levy call for capital improvements. That's repairs, renovations, maintenance to our facilities, safety in our schools. That's another part of our levy call that every year is supported by our school levy. To provide a safe, adequate transportation system, we put in about $590,000 a year, and that goes towards usually the purchase of new buses or upgrades or upkeeps to the transportation department. We provide dental and optical benefits for all of our personnel through the school levy. We upgrade instructional materials, qualified teachers, service administration personnel through maintenance, and to have a competitive salary for each of our staff members. It is in our levy about a $6.8 million line item. We provide curricular and co-curricular, extracurricular monies in our levy for athletic coaches and academic coaches. Without the levy and that levy call, we would not be able to pay our coaches. Child nutrition is also a part of our levy call. About to the tune of about $530,000 a year to help make our lunch and breakfast and supper programs uh, good and with good quality food for our students and staff. We also provide public resource officers, which is our SROs, to make our schools safe, and also our school nurses, our guidance counselors, social workers. Those are all part of our levy call, and we have about $1.1 million set aside annually for the cost of their um, for just cost of their salary and other items they may need. Um, so we have lots of things that are already set aside in our levy call that we must spend that school levy money on. So that's really the gist of our levy call. Each Every 5 years, you have to run your school levy based on taxes, and at different percentages you can run that school levy. In Tyler County, the levy call has not changed for decades. It's been ran at 100% for many, many, many years, and we continue to look at our tax revenue and what we can do. I know the last time we ran our levy, we had some a little kickback from some of our community members about the percentage in which we were running our levy, and we told those folks we will work with them in the future to make it more equitable for them. So our plan is, when we run this levy, is to have some language in the levy that says we will have the opportunity to lower the levy rate based on taxes and need in the county and the school systems. So that's our plan moving forward with the school levy. We are going to look at we don't want to lower the rates. Mainly because those, a couple years ago, the state decided it used to be a 3-year average. So your tax dollars, your school levy, your tax rates were based on a 3-year average. A couple years ago, they decided, oh, we're going to make it a yearly thing. So now, every year, those tax dollars that the schools receive fluctuate greatly. It could go very high peaks to very low valleys. And where before, with that 3-year average, we kind of knew every year what that was, what our tax dollars were going to look like in the county. But we want to have the ability, if for instance, we have a great tax year and oil and gas has created a lot of revenue, we want the ability to be able to lower that rate based on our levy call. And we plan on putting that in the next levy that we will be running here in Tyler County Schools. The other thing in Tyler County Schools that we know is very important when dealing with money and budgets and levies is transparency and accountability. We know trust is a key. Every levy dollar is carefully tracked, publicly reported, and audited. You can always see how your investments are being used to support students. Our budgets are open meetings. Our budget work sessions are open meetings. And there is a time for public input during those things. Also, yearly, our school system is audited, and each year we get very good audit reports back from the auditing firm that comes in and looks at our system. My goal, and I've always said this as a superintendent of schools in Tyler County, I want our students to have the best. I want our students to have the best that will create them an opportunity to be successful individuals after they get out of high school. For instance, things that we've done utilizing tax dollars that I think have been hugely beneficial. We bought heavy equipment simulators that our kids have utilized. We are upgrading our meats lab right now and our head house. Every student gets a one-to-one technology device that they utilize. We have a state-of-the-art radio station and broadcasting center for them to utilize, and we just continue to grow. And we want to make sure every program and every aspect of the schools are, given equal opportunity to grow and expand. And if someone comes to me as a superintendent and said, I think this would be a great idea, my first question to them is, how's it going to help students? How's it going to help them be better prepared, better, ready to go when they leave the school system? And if they can justify that, and we have the budget in place, then we can move forward with that. Um, we try not to frivolously spend on things in our county that's not needed. We want them to be, um, needed and important to the education system. And really, the other thing that we look at is, how is the money that we are spending going to affect the community in general? For instance, upgrades to our facilities, building a new elementary school. That's not only going to affect our students and our staff, but also gives outside community members the opportunity to utilize those facilities that they may not have had, um, if it wasn't for the school system being able to provide that through the school levy and tax dollars. So, we have a lot. There's a lot of lots of things when you're looking at a school budget and the school levy. But the one thing you have to remember are we doing what's best for kids? Are we doing what's best for kids? Are we providing them great opportunities? So that's really the gist of the transparency and the roles of a school budget. So thank you for listening to this part of Voices from the Castle. Up next, we have hot topics. Hot topics in public education right now. Artificial intelligence, which we've already talked a little bit about. Students' mental health. And then the thing I want to talk about today is teacher recruitment and retention. We have a huge issue, not only in the state of West Virginia, but the country, with a shortage of teachers. And personally, I feel it's the greatest job you could have, the most rewarding job you could have, as a career, because you're molding the future of our country. We are the front line of what society is going to look like in 20 or 30 years. I feel like there really needs to be a large scale emphasis put on the importance of teaching in our country. Um, I think that, if you look in other countries, across the world, whose education system is thriving and doing better than us, teachers are very much at the top of their society in rank of importance. And I don't know that that's the case in the United States of America right now. I feel like, we talk a good game sometimes about that, but are they really? And they should be. Teachers should be right at the top of the most important jobs in the country. And with that should come pay and other incentives for those teachers. Because without teachers, what do we have? What do we have? So in those other systems, other countries, they revere teachers as the top people in their society. And I think in America, we oftentimes put professional athletes and musicians and things like that at the top. But if we would turn our focus to what really matters, and that's teachers, I think our society in the United States, you would see public education and achievement for our students really increase, like tenfold. So, how do we get teachers to stay in education? Because that's the other thing. The other thing is they may get into education, and then 5 years down the road they get burnt out. I think reform in public education, reform in teacher education preparation. Because I'll be honest with you, and I think you can talk to most teachers, our colleges and universities do not prepare teachers for what they see on a day-to-day basis in a classroom. They may give them this great curricular updates, and they may have all these pretty lesson plans and all these pretty units to do, but they don't prepare them for the day to day aspect of being a teacher. And I think that's where burnout happens a lot in our culture with teaching. We have to better prepare them to be educators, and we can't do that without them being um, totally engulfed in what's going on in public education. Um, we have a growing number of students who come to us with behaviors and some mental health issues, and I just don't think in our colleges and universities they are preparing student teachers well for that to happen, and so then they get burned out quickly and they go try to find something else to do. The other thing is, and this is just my opinion on this matter, is, uh, years ago, when a teacher said something or a teacher sent a note home saying, little Johnny was misbehaving on the playground, guess what? Parents said, you know what, little Johnny, you shouldn't have been misbehaving on the playground. Well, now in society, we've decided that little Johnny is right. Little John, there's no way little Johnny would have did what he said what the teacher said that he did. So we are questioning the adult, the educator, as parents and other members in society about everything that happens and every decision they make. I think that again that comes with where teachers rank in our society, societal hierarchy, and how much you know, how much stock we put in, what a teacher says or what a teacher does. And I think with retention and recruitment of teachers, that's the gist of it. That's why we have a shortage. Uh, Kids aren't going into education. Well, one, because they make very little money as a teacher, and two, they're not respected as they used to be by parents and communities uh, and a whole. So I think a lot of that, until we change those kind of things with pay and respect, we're not going to get a lot of kids going into education. And that's disheartening because public education is it's under attack by a lot of different entities, and then not having the ability to recruit and retain quality teachers really just compounds that problem in our school system. So it is a very hot topic in education, and I think society has to change before we can really fix the issues of teacher recruitment and retention. And that's my thoughts as superintendent in Tyler County Schools. We're to the segment of our program about project updates. Some project updates in Tyler County Schools is we're getting ready to finish up the gym addition. That punch list has been created, and we're finished all of those little things up with that project. We are full steam ahead on the Meats Lab and Head House project. It's going to be a beautiful facility for our students in our agricultural program. And then the big project that we are working through is the building of the new Tyler Consolidated Elementary School. This past week, we met with architects, interior designers, and other folks with McKinley and Associates to really go over what the exterior of the building is going to look like, the plans for classrooms. We had grade level teachers come and visit with the interior designers and furniture people to really tell them what they want inside their classrooms. And I think that was a very beneficial meeting for everyone involved. Our goal and our plan is to get this thing out for bid early January and start moving some dirt as quickly as possible. So we're really looking forward to those two things. Another project that is kind of underway and is not really been on the back burner, but it's not been really talked about, is we're getting ready to in our commons areas in our high school and middle school kind of redesign, kind of give it a more of a loungy feel for our kids. we're excited about that, and partnering with the company to make it look more like a place to eat and hang out than a block building. So we're looking forward to those designs and getting those people in to really make it a cool place for our kids. And I'm excited to see those things. And that's your project updates. In closing for episode 4, at the end of the day, the budget and levy are just not about numbers. They are about opportunities. They're about opportunities for our kids and for our staff and our community. They're about ensuring that every student who walks through our doors has the resources they need to be a successful citizen in an ever-changing world. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Voices from the Castle. If you'd like to learn more, I would encourage you to attend the public budget hearings and the public work sessions for our budget. And you can reach out to my office, and don't forget to subscribe if you never miss. That way you never miss an update. Together, we are building a brighter future, one student at a time. This is Shane Highley, Superintendent of Tyler County Schools, and you've listened to Voices from the Castle.